If you look at, and there's a huge universe of tooling that's coming out. I look at the large LLMs like OpenAI, Gemini, Meta. I don't really look at Grok that much because why would you? But if you look at those, they're expanding. They're like expanding star universes. So you know, backward in 2023, you saw a lot of AI companies get a tremendous amount of funding at very high valuations, and they are now wiped off the map because these LLM stars are expanding so rapidly, they're just eating the tooling. So you have this concept of RAG, you'll hear these words, retrieval augmented generation, and vector databases, and there's some semblance of those that are starting to exist in the LLMs. But instead of waiting for a product to come out, what we know is that there is a structure by which you can mechanize and create security around how you interact with some of these large utility companies. How do you break it down from a tool that you need? Because you need tools to interact with these LLMs. They don't do very good at things like days of weeks and time and calculations. You need all the way up to knowledge blocks and agents. You need to separate out the actual work that and a component of the technology needs to do. So we look at it as a since we have a structure to break it down that falls within the frameworks of all these other products that are coming out, we can create that structure for a company, and that structure can be flexible to accommodate whatever happens next with the larger utilities, because we are all sort of swinging from whatever those utility companies do. And our evangelism is, hey, let's get started. We know we can make these improvements today. Let's do that. And in that way, every company starts to become familiar with the way it works. It's not a big mystery anymore. They can see some immediate results instead of, wait, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. And it is going to happen. And that's we have done some interesting work with physicians that do expert witness testimony for lawsuits. And part of their practice is, maybe they produce 30 of these a month. They're highly profitable reports. The way they produce those reports is to take, say, 30 doctor visits, images, etc. They have a pretty specific manual process for conforming those to a summary view, and then they have a final process to approve everything. And they take 6 hours for a brain surgeon per month to produce a report like this. They would rather be hanging out with their children, but they know, that they have to be the ones to do it. That said, you can train an LLM. This is a perfect example. You can use the low code platform to anonymize the information, make sure that it's respecting PII. You can bring that down to 35, 40 minutes to fine tune a summary versus 6 hours. And the outcome is better. So these are like very real world things that can be done, and almost every business has them.